Okay. Hello, good morning or good evening. Whenever you are watching this, I hope you are doing well. My name is Catherine, and today we're reorganizing my bookshelves again. So one of the last videos I made on this channel was a bookshelf reorganization type video. Since then, I've moved across the country to New York City. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, I am no longer a California girl. I'm on the East Coast. It's been kind of crazy. When my apartment is more put together, I'll have like an actual apartment tour. But for now, we're gonna put some books on my bookshelves. I know the big question is how many books did I bring with me all the way across the country? There's 24 boxes of books right here. 24 boxes. So we first have to acknowledge that not all of those books are going to fit on these bookshelves. That's just how it's gonna be. We're gonna have to accept that. There's gonna be some double stacking to begin with. Eventually, my hope, my goal, my dream, I would probably get one of the like half size of the Billy bookshelves. These are like the full size ones. There's ones where it's like half. So I'll probably get one of those. And I probably am gonna end up getting like the extenders that are up on top that you can add to the top of the shelf. That's gonna happen eventually when I have more money, because I did just move across the country. So currently, we're taking things slow in terms of putting things together. That being said, what is my plan for this shelf? Great question. As we know, the majority of my books are romance and fantasy. It's a combination of the two. I tend to organize my books by genre. Keeping an author together is always a big goal of mine. And I do highly rely on aesthetics. So if the books look good together, they're sitting next to each other. I don't do alphabetical order or anything like that. I will go off of vibes. So I'm like, these are my dark academia books, that sort of thing. So that's going to be happening a lot. Right now what I'm thinking is romance is going to be at the top because those books are lighter. And then we're going to go down with fantasies being down towards the bottom. We'll see how that kind of works out, how that looks, that sort of thing. I probably will have books up at the very top, but I also don't have a step stool, so that might have to wait until I have a step stool. Of course, first things first, let's unbox some books. For now, because I'm waiting for a peg to come in the mail, because right now it will very much fall. We'll keep on pushing anyways. I don't know where I'm going. 2 days, one big commotion. I'm being carried by the wake. So soothing motion, please help me take the pain away. Yeah. So what's kind of happening right now is I'm just pulling books out of boxes and putting them vaguely on what shelf I would like them to end up on. I do need a step stool, I realized, to get up to the top. I didn't really think that one through, so I'm kind of just putting some that I know I want up there, and then we will figure out the step stool problem a little bit later. So yeah, that's a thing. As I said before, I'm really hoping to get one of the like skinnier Billy bookshelves and the extension to go up top so I can have like another shelf up there. Possibly would also get the more just shelves themselves because historicals are very small. So like there's all this kind of headspace above the historicals. If I could find a way to like, if I can get more shelves, I'd be able to like bring this up so that they're like just fitting perfectly in there, and then insert like another shelf and put more historicals on that one because obviously there'd be less space. Yeah, that's kind of what's happening right now. Right now, I'm kind of just focused on getting the books out of the boxes so I can see what I have. That's the big thing. Okay, great news. I got the package for the pin that goes into that shelf so I can finally start putting things on.
Stayed in but felt so far away. Last night was one big holiday. Cool winds on me out by the shade.
I still have quite a few historicals. I honestly think that might be solved when I like organize those up there. Again, I just don't have a step stool yet. May have to do a Target run at some point. Probably not today, but maybe tomorrow. So yeah, okay. We got historicals mostly taken care of. I'm just gonna set these ones off to the side and probably put them up there at some point.
Put my weekend on layaway. I don't know where I'm going. 2 days, one big commotion. I'm being carried by the wake. So hold me like an ocean. I need your soothing motion. Please help me take the pain away. No way to change. No way to change. I yesterday.
I have 16 boxes left. 17. Oh. Ah. 18. 19. What? Done 5 boxes. 6. I think I miscounted and I really did have 25 boxes of books. Cool. Here's what we got going on so far. Obviously historicals are up there. Makes sense to put them at the top because they are the lightest books. And I know earthquakes aren't a thing here, but it does make me nervous not having this like attached to the wall. And I have to have it like slightly out from the wall because there is a heating system behind it. We're gonna hope nothing catches on fire here. So I have historicals up there. These are kind of like all Avon books, but there's like, I mean, I have my Olivia dates together. These are St. Martin's. I'm kind of thinking, because I have a couple that are like hardcover, so I'm thinking in like special editions of putting all those together, maybe over there, and then putting, because this is all Berkeley. All of this is Berkeley. And like just looking at how much space is in between here, I could definitely get, and like how much space is between here, I could totally get another shelf. Yeah, so I'm thinking I can get at least one more shelf, if not 2 more shelves, because this one can be brought up like all the way up there. I could have another. I'm gonna try and do like some spacing, I think, and try and figure that out. So I'm gonna put a pause, figure out how many more shelves I can get into here and have it like work and make sense. And then I'm gonna get back to arranging. The shelf is an older version of the Billy bookshelf, and it doesn't have the holes going all the way up and down. So there's like kind of an awkward gap right here that doesn't have a hole, but I would like a shelf to go there because then I could fit more historical size books right here. Regular like trade paperbacks would totally fit right there. This is going to be a little bit of a game of Tetris. Okay, so I did a little bit of playing around with the shelves, and adding another shelf is something I could do. However, I don't have the tools for it right now. Basically, because this one particular shelf doesn't have the hole, I can't put it at the right height for like what I need. Because if I was able to put this shelf there, it would be like the perfect height for what I need. But alas, it's not. So we're just gonna have to take the L for now, kind of just work with what I got. I put everything back where I had it. And then maybe in like the future, I can get like a drill or have someone who has a drill come over and drill that out. Out for the most part. There might be a couple more scattered within, or they're like more like fantasy romances, and I will come to that when it comes to that. But I think I have all my like just straight up romances out now. So I'm gonna start arranging those, and I'm gonna try and keep them on these 6 shelves and up there, of course. As I continued to put, wow, I look so greasy, it's just hot. As I continued to put books on the shelf, the more I thought about it, the more I think I should move the shelves over there. This is bad. This is fine. I'm going back and forth. This is rough. Okay, so here's the thing. I did end up moving the bookshelves over here from across the room. It just made more sense with the space, and I noticed, especially in the afternoon, there's just more light that comes from the sliding glass door of my balcony. So like it just, I feel like it's gonna be better over here, and it just opened up the space a whole lot. So that's what's happening. Now I am going to just bring everything over from over there across the room, put it back on the shelves. That's probably all I'm gonna end up doing tonight, and then I'll continue with the rest of the books either tomorrow or Friday, depending. Yeah, let's bring all those books over. Okay, so my DoorDash just got here, and I basically got all the books that I had on the shelf back up onto the shelf. So there we are. I am going to call it a night for tonight. Don't worry, I will be back either tomorrow or Friday to finish this up. Hello and welcome to day 2 of my bookshelf organization. As you might notice behind me, I bought a shelf. It's one of the like half shelves, so it's about half the size of these shelves. But I did also get extenders, so we're gonna add an extender to each of these as well as the new shelf, so there'll be one shelf size taller. It just was one of those things where it's like I could wait, but then I'll have to reorganize these all over again, and I'd have to do a lot of double stacking, and I just wanted to have it done. So yeah, that's what happened. So today I'm going to build those, see if I can get those all set up, and then see how much of my books that I'm able to get up onto the shelves. It's really going to depend, because I am on a little bit of a time limit here because I'm going to see the Barbie movie later. Very excited for that. But yeah, so we're gonna build a bookshelf. after thoroughly exhausting myself and taking a little bit of a nap, my bookshelves, they're all built. They're massive. I did not expect how tall that would actually make the shelves. I have like an hour before I have to get ready to go see Barbie. So I'm thinking for this next hour, I'm just gonna try and power through and get as many books on the shelves as I can, get the books that I had to take off when I was like moving the shelf around, get those back on, do a little rearranging, some zhuzhing, and just kind of power through for the next hour. So there's not going to be a lot of commentary. It's just going to be me putting books on shelves. And when I do like my final walkthrough tour, that's when I'll walk y'all through what I did. But right now, books on shelves. Welcome to day 3 of organizing my bookshelf. Today is hopefully going to be the last day of all of this. I am very tired because I stayed out way too late last night watching the Barbie movie and going to Marie's Crisis. It's my new favorite place in the world, and I will probably be going there as often as I can make it out to the West Village because it's far. Here's the plan for today. Currently, I have my historicals here. I was planning on keeping like historicals here and putting like, I don't even know what I was thinking of putting up at the top. I was like going back and forth about like really pretty editions, ones that I might like not grab as often because it's so high up. I just don't want to put anything really heavy at the top because I'm like unable to attach these to the wall because of the heater behind them. So I'm thinking I'm going to move all the historicals up to there. I'm going to do my best to get as many of them up there so it may have some like funky stacking going on, but I think that could be cute and aesthetic. And then I'm going to move kind of everything, at least from here, up a shelf. So the like kind of romances, at least the traditionally published romances, and these like more traditional romances are up, and they kind of stop here. And then this is where like the fantasies are gonna go because they're heavier. So I want them lower to the ground so they don't like topple my bookshelf, because that would be very bad. I'm really hoping to get everything on the shelves today. I do anticipate that there is going to be some double stacking happening because that is just, when you have a little bit of a book buying problem like I do, it just is what it is. It is what it is. this entire time in slow motion. This audio is going to be terrible. That audio is going to be terrible. All of this is going to be terrible. I am about to have a full breakdown. So after realizing that I had been filming in slow motion for most of today of what I've done, luckily it wasn't too much, but I did have to take a moment, have the rest of my coffee, and just generally chill for a second, be like, it's not that serious. You can do a voiceover, it's fine. So basically what I've done so far today is I moved all my historicals up to the top, kind of shifted just all my romances up on the shelves. I moved my Grishaverse books up, and these are all like Greek mythology type books. I'm still not sure if I'm gonna keep them there. I did have an idea that I might play with a little bit later with putting like Grishaverse books here and here. Could be kind of cute if they all fit. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. I am going to continue shelving, continue organizing. Probably you're gonna see me move stuff from one shelf to another as I try and decide how I want them organized. It's gonna look like a lot of like me putting them one place and then moving them to a different place and being like, actually I liked it in the first place better. So that's kind of what's gonna happen. Okay, so basically what's happened is I have what you can't see down at my feet are my books that I have left are sorted by like genre and like the size of the book, just because it's going to make it easier to like stack things if they're similar sizes. On the very bottom shelf, I have my young adult, my monster romance. I don't know, that's just where they fit. It is what it is at this point. So I am going to try and fill in some of the spaces that we have here. There is one more empty shelf down at the bottom. That is where the rest of like my YA fantasy is gonna go. That is definitely gonna be double stacked. There's no choice. After those, there is I have some like general fiction. Don't quite know where those are gonna go quite yet. We'll figure that one out. And then there's 2 boxes of ARCs. I don't know. I'm thinking I'm gonna do something. I know my hair looks crazy right now. Like I know there's just frizz happening because I've just been so stressed. I'm thinking I'm gonna do something with the ARCs, do some sort of like a separate shelf for those, some sort of like rolly cart type deal. So I'm just gonna keep them in a separate box. There's like a couple more books and things. I'm gonna put like some of my like classics up on my desk, my like plays, which I thought I left behind, but apparently I brought them with me. I'm gonna put those like on my dresser. And that's where we're at. Let's see if I can get this done tonight. I really, really want to try and get this done tonight. After a long process, many days putting together a whole new bookshelf, and a week-long break, my bookshelves are complete, mostly. I'm definitely going to be changing things around. If I ever figure out my like space issue, I might, you know, add more shelves or have other shelves throughout the apartment at some point. But for now, these main shelves are completed. I'll also probably add some decor as I go, but I still have a lot of unpacking to do before I can even think about like just general decor. The important thing is though, is that my books are on my shelves. All 25 boxes, actually 23 because I didn't unpack the arcs, but there we go, books are on shelves. Let's take a little tour. Okay, starting at the very top, we have my historicals shelf. We have my Lisa Clay passes. I am slowly but surely finding all of her books with the step backs in them. So I'm sure her books are going to expand. I have Elizabeth Hoyt, some Samantha James, some Stephanie Lawrence, Amelie Howard, Sophie Jordan, whole mix of things over there. As we slide over to the middle shelf, we have my Eloisa James and Julia Quinn. That is all that middle shelf is. I think I have most of Eloisa James's. I think there's like a couple here or there. I am still working on collecting all the Bridgerton books, despite my feelings on the contents themselves. I love their step backs. I think they have some really fabulous step backs. So I'm, again, slowly but surely trying to find all the books with their original step backs. Finally, on the historical level, we have my Sarah MacLean's. Lots and lots of those. I have all of her books, all of the original copies with step backs, except for her most recent series, which don't have step backs, which will forever be painful for me, but it's fine. I have some Joanna Shoup, Erica Ridley, Kerrigan Byrne, Beverly Jenkins, Anna Harrington, some miscellaneous ones, as well as my like beautiful copy of The Princess Bride over there, and my Tessa Dares. I think I'm missing 2 or 3 of her books with their original step backs, but for the most part, I have her collection. Moving down to my first level of contemporary romances. Right here, we have mostly self-published. There's a couple from like Source Books and some various other publishers. I tend to group things by publisher because they tend to be similar heights. Publisher will, you know, print books at the same height. But yeah, this is mostly self-published. My Anna Huang's, my Sierra Simone's, my Lauren Asher. Yeah, whole range right there. This center section is special editions. So my special editions of The Kiss Quotient. Most of these are from the Afterlight box from Illumicrate. I do also have Merry Little Meet Cute, which is not a special edition, but it is a hardcover. And so I put it there because don't really have any other hardcover romances. Next section is a combo of kind of like light fantasy romances, so things that are set in contemporary times but have like fantasy elements, as well as historicals that are like either in hardcover, like A Lady's Guide to Fortune Hunting, or are just trade paperbacks, because I wanted my top row to be all my mass market paperback. So again, this is a combination. Most of these are adult. I did fit The Other Merlin and Future King just because they fit really well in there, and it's a fun combo of historical slash fantasy slash romance. So even though they're YA, they just ended up there. Moving down to my next shelf are all my Berkeley romances, all my Berkeley contemporary romances, I should say, because I did have some Berkeley up on the upper shelf. But yeah, everything here is published by Berkeley. Again, because they tend to do it by the same height. The only exception is, of course, By the Book by Jasmine Guillory, and that is only because all of Jasmine Guillory's other books are Berkeley, but this one is Hyperion. It ended up being the exception. One thing I will say is I've noticed Berkeley has started to make some of their books shorter, as you can see with Ruby Spencer's Whiskey Year. RIP. I really hope this doesn't end up being a trend, because look how nice all these books look being the same height. Please don't do this to me. The center section is reserved for two of my favorite authors, Kennedy Ryan and Olivia Dade. The main reason they ended up there is because like that's just where their books fit, but also like it worked out that those are two of my all-time favorite authors. So they just get their own shelf and they get to hang out together. I like to think that they would appreciate that because I love both their books. I don't know. Finally, on this level is more contemporary romances. Most of these are published by Avon or just general imprints of HarperCollins, like William Morrow or Harlequin. Those are all the same. I do also have some St. Martin's Griffin. Again, that's just where those fit. And I liked that Alexis Daria, I could keep her books together despite them being two different imprints. I do have a couple self-pubbed on there as well. And some other ones that just happen to fit there. That blank space is for my copy of Red, White, and Royal Blue that is waiting to get signed by Casey McQuiston. Moving on down to my Greek mythology shelf. All of these are based in Greek mythology. So of course we have my Percy Jackson books. Had to have a whole space for them. Honestly, I was kind of devastated that they didn't fit in one of the center sections. Also, if you notice that House of Hades and Blood of Olympus do not have their dust jackets, I bought them at like a used bookstore. No, actually, I bought them off of Thrift Books a long time ago, and they just didn't come with their dust jackets. And at some point, I am going to just buy copies that have their dust jackets. They're like always at used bookstores, so I'll just end up doing that at some point. But yeah, so I have those. I have my Jennifer Saint, my Elodie Harper. I'm currently trying to get the hardcover of the first book, The Wolf's Den. I have Ithaca, Daughter of Sparta, Lies We Sing, To the Sea, which I think is Greek mythology. I have my several copies of Song of Achilles, as well as my copies of Circe, and I do have a copy of The Odyssey as translated by Emily Wilson. Have I read it yet? Nope. Will I? Yes. I'm determined. I'm going to do it. Next section is my first of the Grishaverse books. Surprise, surprise. Leigh Bardugo gets 2.5 whole shelves all to herself. These are all in the Shadow and Bone series, specifically, so like the Grisha trilogy and Grisha trilogy adjacent. So I have like Demon in the Woods, the Lives of Saints book, and Language of Thorns, which is kind of just a miscellaneous item, but I thought it fit well there. So yeah, I have my several copies of Shadow and Bone. On this level is what I'm calling my Dark Academia / Olivia Blake. So we have my copies of Babel, Yellow Face, and my Arf Kwong. More Leigh Bardugo with Hellbent and Ninth House. Portrait of Thief, If We Were Villains, all of the Olivia Blake books that I have. I am very proud of the fact that I have all of her self-published books. That is actually a big thing for me. Moving down to the next level, this is what I'm going to refer to as fairies and fairy adjacent. I don't know. Basically, we have my Sarah J. Maas books, my copy of Fourth Wing. So I do have the original edition with the sprayed edges. And then all of my Holly Black books. I would just like to say, I do have more. I did have to leave them in California for good reason. Obviously, clearly, I do not have room for any more, but yeah. So all of the Holly Black books that I have in New York. Then of course we have my Six of Crows shelf. Then of course we have the continuation of Grishaverse. So I do have the movie tie-in edition of Six of Crows, the special editions of Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, my original first editions of Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. I have my original copies of King of Scars and Rule of Wolves, and then the Illumicrate editions of King of Scars and Rule of Wolves. The shelf is what I'm kind of calling some classic YA fantasies. We have Marissa Meyer on there. I do have the rest of the Lunar Chronicles. I think I accidentally left them in California. I meant to bring them with me, but you know what? Maybe that's okay because I don't think they would fit on this shelf. So, you know, that's fine. My Libba Bray books. I did only bring one version of the Diviners with me. I have several versions of the Diviners that I ended up having to leave at home, which was very tragic. And then I have my, I think that's the Owlcrate editions of Strange the Dreamer and Muse of Nightmares, and the Lit Joy Crate of the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy. The shelf below that, I put all these books together purely because they had some of the coolest sprayed edges that I own. So they all go together because they have the coolest sprayed edges. If you would like a tour of all my sprayed edges, let me know. But I worked so hard to put these on here, I don't really feel like taking them off. Please just appreciate the beauty. I think most of these are from Illumicrate. A couple might be from Fairy Loot as well. Moving down the line, we have a combination of graphic novels and V.E. Schwab. That's, again, just kind of what fit there. This isn't my favorite shelf that I put together, but it is what it is. Finally, on this level are what I'm calling my like dark romance / fantasy romance. So these ones are fantasies that are specifically romance. Most of these are self-published. There's a couple are independently published. There's a couple in there that are not, but yeah, these are all fantasy romances. Down to the final level. Sorry if this is shaky. My tripod doesn't go this far down, so I had to hold it myself. This is YA Contemporary, so everything on the shelf is YA Contemporary. I will say it is double stacked, unfortunately. I did have to double stack things. Before you ask, like, why did you choose what gets double stacked and what didn't? It just is what worked out in terms of keeping authors together because, again, I don't really like to split up an author. Clearly have the most of Maureen Johnson, which I didn't even realize I had so many Maureen Johnson books, but I do. And also, I feel like Maureen Johnson and John Green just kind of go together. So that's what happened there. In the center section down here are my monster and alien romances. I feel like that's all I really need to say about this shelf. Don't ask why monster and alien romances ended up in between, you know, my like YA shelves, but there you go. Final shelf is fantasy. It is a combination of YA and adult fantasy, as well as some science fiction. So there's that. Again, this one is also double stacked, and again, it has nothing to do with how much I like the author. It really just has to do with like what fit where. I do have a stack off to the side here as well of some books that did not fit on the shelf. So we're gonna deal with that when we get to it. So here we are. This is my bookshelf. This is so exciting, and this is going to be what my setup is for filming for the most part. We'll see once I get the rest of my apartment set up how that goes. But yeah, I'm very excited to have this all set up. I feel like just having my bookshelf completed, it's gonna make everything else flow so much better in this apartment, and not having the 24 boxes of books, 20, 25, 23, somewhere in that range. Not having all those boxes of books just sitting there is going to make things flow so much better. So I'm very excited to have this set up. Like I said, I'll probably have some other a smaller little bookcases around because what better way to decorate an apartment than with bookshelves? But I'm excited to have this set up so that I can start making videos again. And if you want to see me re-enter my booktube journey, be sure that you hit subscribe. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, hit subscribe and turn on the bell icon so you get notified every single time I post. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And until next time, bye.